We want to start off with a reminder that we are not doctors. Before you make any changes or try something new, always consult with your doctor and medical team first. Chronic illness can vary from patient to patient, so it's always best to consult with your own doctor for what is best for you.
Hello, welcome to I Be Determined. I'm your host, Mason Harvey, and I have Crohn's disease.
And I'm your host, Michelle Harvey. I'm Mason's mom, and I speak in the role of a caregiver.
Woo!
Today on IB Determined, we're going to talk about a big event coming up for the entire IBD community. And hopefully all of you listening are involved somehow or have had a chance to take part in this event. And we're actually wearing our team shirts from, well, not our team shirts, but they were from Take Steps, which is what we're about to talk about.
Try to see
from last year.
White shirt.
Yeah, so you can see like it has your Take Steps.
Take steps.
Yep. So Mason got a green shirt because he is a patient, and
she got a white shirt because she's a caregiver.
Yep. So
her supports.
You also can earn different shirts depending on the levels that you get to in fundraising. So hopefully by the end of this podcast, you will be encouraged to somehow participate, somehow act, and maybe join your own local Take Steps and participate.
It's
And
fun.
yeah, and as you're listening, if you have participated in Take Steps and you have any fundraising ideas that you want to share, that would be great. The more we can help each other out, the better. Take Steps does consist of different teams across the United States. There are several cities that participate.
It's not just in one area, it's all across.
Yeah, like where we're at in California, there's multiple walks in California. There are multiple locations in states.
Wherever you are, you could join one.
Yep. And we'll have
Fundraise.
ideas for you if you aren't near one, how you can still participate. So nobody's left out. If you have IBD, that's what this is all about, is coming together as a community and supporting each other. So what is Take Steps?
Take Steps is one of the Crohn's Colitis Foundation's largest and most impactful fundraising events.
And that is taken directly from Take Steps. So
Take Steps.
Yes, so we're not making this up. So what it is Take Steps is put on by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. So all of this can be found by going to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation website, searching Take Steps to find your event. Like Mason said, it's that their foundation's largest and most impactful fundraising event. So this is like a big deal. This is where we all need to step up and somehow participate, because this is where the biggest amount of money is raised.
So Take Steps is a walk experience that brings communities together, and it lets people with IBD, patients and families, know that there are other people like them, and they can get to know them, and they can all come together and they take a walk and they do speech.
It's family friendly.
It's family friendly.
At ours, some people bring their dogs.
Their dogs, yeah, it's their pets.
So yes, and it's very supportive. I would say, like, it's there's nothing like it.
There's speakers, and then after the speeches are done, you all get into a big crowd and you walk along the route they have planned. You don't want to go off the wrong route.
Yep.
It's usually like a mile. Get to that later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. The important thing is that every dollar raised, so every teammate matters, because every dollar raised goes towards research and better treatments and finding the cure. That's
the cure that we all need and want.
Yeah. And so these things are not going to happen without proper funding to continue this research. Funding research is important for many different reasons.
And research can also find things like, well, she said, like finding maybe what starts Crohn's disease, which would be good, because you could start it at the root cause and you wouldn't have to guess. And maybe with all that research, and not only would you find what starts it, you could find a way to pinpoint which biologic works for each person.
Yeah.
So you're not continually guessing if Remicade will work for them, Stelara will work for them, if Entyvio will work for them. You just this will work for you. We know that.
You can say this one will not, this one will, and you save precious time.
They're able to pinpoint it easily.
Yeah,
it's not that long.
And that's very good to point out, because that is extremely important in treating these diseases. And like Mason mentioned, you will be surrounded by people like you, which is like caregivers, patients,
supporters,
just supporters, which I think that's always really cool, is just to see who shows up for you and for others, and we all get to see like, wow, everyone is here supporting somebody, and maybe they don't have IBD, maybe
Yeah,
they
maybe
don't.
they just wanna support someone.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe they're not
maybe
even a caregiver. Maybe they just wanna help raise funds for the
we've had
disease.
people like that on our team
Yeah.
too, who join in because they care,
Yeah.
and how cool is that? Like, I think that's such a neat feeling, and so I think that's really important to go to these functions, especially maybe if you feel isolated with this, these kind of things will help, and
You can see that you're not alone.
yeah, maybe make some friends and make some connections. We're going to talk about really quick. So because people might be like, well, when I donate, you talk about research, you talk about all these things. So, but where is the money going specifically? The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation is very open. They have their reports. You can look at them online, so you can see exactly where the money goes, which I really like that
So
transparency.
you know it's not just going to a random place,
Yeah.
something like that. You don't want that.
You'd hope not.
Crohn's
So,
Class wouldn't do
so
that,
let's go
anyways.
over a few things that the funding that it has provided critical programming for so let's look at where some of the funding has been spent on.
There has been $500 million invested to date into groundbreaking research.
That's a lot.
500 million.
Yeah. And so that's
That's
to date,
crazy.
like he said. That doesn't mean like this year, obviously, but
No,
that is
that's
to date.
over. Yeah,
So
over
that's
time.
why it's so important to do these walks to get that number, keep it growing and keep that research going. But 500 million is a lot. That's a
Yeah.
huge impact in the IBD world. And
Let's make it 501 million. Maybe 600 million.
yeah,
That's not. That's
and
that's not
then there's places like
Camp
Camp
Oasis.
Oasis, which they have, you can do in-person attending at the camp or you
Or
can do virtual.
yes, which I've done
Mhm.
twice,
Yeah,
3 times. I think
maybe
it's.
three. I don't even know
Oh
now.
God,
Yeah,
I think it's twice. This might
yeah.
be third this year.
And so Camp Oasis is pretty cool because it brings kids together, and regardless of where they're at, if they're in a flare, they can attend virtually, or if they're immunosuppressed and there's concerns with that.
It's
Um,
specifically kids,
yeah, but it's specifically kids and it gives them
and there's fun activities like it's like
it's a
every
full
day for
a week.
for a week. Yeah, they
Yeah,
have
for
fun
about a
different
week.
activities for that, and then the final day usually they have someone a special guest come in at the last day. Which the first one they actually had a magician who was really cool,
Oh, you
and
really
yeah,
enjoyed that. Yeah, he was a really good
he
one.
was.
Yeah, they have all kinds of things. It's a very cool event,
Mhm.
and I think it's extremely important for these kids. So that's also where the funding goes.
Yeah.
There's a few things like the We Can't Wait app, which the foundation built. So if you do have to use a bathroom and you
Can't
can't
wait.
wait, you can pull up on the app where the nearest restrooms are, and they have ratings. So it's kind of
That's
like
pretty
Yelp for
cool. Yeah,
restrooms.
Yelp for restaurant. That's pretty
Yeah, so you
cool.
can rate them, and so it's like, yeah, if you can go to this one, avoid this one. So it's kind of cool. That's kind of a neat thing. And they also launched a gut-friendly recipe site recently, which we did a few shorts on
Yeah,
where we made
yeah.
some of the meals, and that was really fun. So
They're good for flares. They
yeah,
actually have markings on them to tell you if something's flare friendly,
yep. Like
if goes
what diet
if
it
it's
would
gluten
work with.
free,
Yeah.
if it's lactose free,
If it's part of
dairy.
Mediterranean
Yeah.
diet, if it's part of SCD, different things that you are trying out. It's very friendly to that and it gives you some options. So that's fun. And then they have the IBDmedicationguide.org, which they have funded and created. And this is really neat because you can look on there and look up all the different IBD medications. And I don't know a lot of people know about this. So I think that's an important resource if you're trying to research the
What you
latest
were
and the
on?
greatest, what you're even taking.
What is
It's a good
Remicade?
idea.
Remember the first day, like you're on Remicade. We're like, what's that? Imagine if we had that site and we could be like, oh well, that's
Because
that.
we didn't know about it at the
No,
time. We that's
it's a
helped.
very helpful site.
Getting involved with the foundation was one of the best things we could have done when you were diagnosed. So it was extremely helpful. And then they have a help center. They have an IBD help center, and they say about yearly they address about 12,000 inquiries. And so that's how many people they're able to also help. So all this funding, I mean, there's much
That's
more than this. This is just a few things we pulled just to let you see kind of specifics.
it's just a smidge of
Yeah,
what they have
but
to
it's why the fundraising is also important in addition to finding a cure. So now we're going to get to how you can participate
and how you can help.
and donate. And
Woo.
so the very first step is you would register. So this is if you want to walk. So say you're listening to us and you're like,
Ooh, I
I,
want to walk with
yeah,
them.
I want to do this. So you can either choose to join a team. You can form your own team, which is what we've done. Mason is the team captain for our team is IB determined and very fitting.
Yeah.
So
determined.
yeah. And so Mason is the team captain and I'm on the team. His dad's on the team and we will start asking people to join us. But you're more than welcome to form your own team, join a team and or walk as an individual. It doesn't matter, but you
More
need to
teams, more
register.
people, the better.
So go and, search Take Steps, Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, find your local walk and register. Then the other thing you can do, so say maybe you're not interested in walking, you don't want to form a team, you are just fundraising is a little bit too much for you right now. You can also volunteer on the day. So reach out to your local Take Steps and see if there's any opportunities for you to volunteer. I think that's always really cool. We get to meet the volunteers whenever we're there. And, people who are handing out the t-shirts, who are checking you in, who are
They
giving
work
you the
hard.
badges and they do, but it's neat because a lot of them also have IBD. So you meet other people and it's like, wow, thank you guys for giving back and for taking the time.
They do
So
all that work.
it's teamwork. Yeah. So even though you may not be walking and fundraising,
You can still help.
the volunteers are vital and extremely
Without the
necessary.
volunteers, Take Steps wouldn't really
It wouldn't really
be
it wouldn't
Uh-uh.
work. If you
Volunteers are really important.
Yeah, and everything.
Yes,
But
definitely.
for this, it's just maybe you can contribute half a day and go help set up, help take down everything and just be a part of the event, maybe be a cheerleader rooting people on when they're walking and coming back and it's a lot of fun. So check out your volunteer opportunities as well. And another way, so say you're listening to us and maybe you don't have a Take Steps near you and
But you still want to
maybe
donate.
you want to donate because you're like, well, I'd like to do this. So there are a couple different ways we can talk about this. You can do a straight donation. And so there's also a link on Take Steps, like for Mason, he's got a direct link you can donate to him, but it all goes to the team and it all goes to the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Yes.
So
Which is the best part.
yeah, so it really doesn't matter, but that's how it works. So when you donate, you can choose which team you want to donate to, which individual, and it will 100% of it will still all go to Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. But you can choose to just donate. Maybe you want to support somebody and donate directly to their team. That's always fun.
Team and then donate to it.
And another way, this might be fun. I don't know. This is we've offered. We haven't always got a lot of takers, but if you are in another state, another location where there is not a Take Steps nearby, but you would like to participate, you can always join a team because you don't have to be local to join it. You can join a team and you can fundraise. You can do all the things we're about to talk about. So you can help that team fundraise and you can do
people donate, more people donate, and they get more money.
Yep, it all adds up.
It's not
Every
just you,
dollar.
it's everyone.
Right. So sometimes if you would like to, you can do like a walk in your own community. Like on the day that we do the walk, ours is on June 2nd.
Fun.
Yeah, like just wherever you live, take a little walk around and just kind of like virtually walk and be there in spirit and maybe take a picture, post it to social media, something like that. So you don't have to be at the event to do that. And you could really still be a part of a team. So I think that's really fun. I would like to do that this year and have a few more people join us. We're going to talk about now because you're listening might be like fundraising. Okay, how do we do that?
Well, a few good ideas for fundraising would obviously a big part of everyone's life today is Facebook. And if you're on Facebook, you can ask people to fundraise
Right.
for a certain cause. Maybe you'd say for Take Steps or the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. You can get people to donate like that. Or there's fundraising apps.
So like the Facebook funders and fundraising app, you can set those up through the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Yes.
So they'll link it directly to like your Facebook so people can just click and donate. Super easy to do. You don't even have to set anything up, like write anything out. There's a couple options there, like what Mason was talking about. We do one where we do a lot of social media. So we do a lot of our own. We will write up stories. We will all along the way asking for different weeks we might post something asking for donations and explaining things. So we're very active on there. But if you're just like, I don't want to do that. Like I just want to put out a fundraiser, you can. So there are tools and you can look into your Take Steps or you can always message us. We can help you guys. But you can set up a Facebook fundraiser, which is very simple. People can just click and donate, or a fundraising app that they have now. You can also use that to help you fundraise. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to do that. The other thing is to just ask.
Ask. Can you donate to Take Steps?
Yeah. Well,
It's so easy.
Right.
Yeah, it's totally how it works.
Yeah, exactly. But no, you do. You can ask, and that can be in person, that can be through email, that can be through social media. So just ask because you're gonna ask. I don't know what the exact number is, but it's like that saying, like you may have to ask a certain amount of people, you're gonna get a no a certain amount of times, but
Mhm.
then you'll get a yes. So you have to meet those statistics. So don't be afraid to get a no. Don't be hurt if you get a no. There's a lot of people fundraising for different things out there,
And
so
you're
that's
not gonna get
okay.
a yes if you don't ask.
That's 100%
So
correct.
you need to ask to get a
You
yes.
will always get a no if you don't ask. So
It's
that is
better to
absolutely
ask than
correct,
nothing.
right? And kind of like we were just talking about, connect with your social networks. Just talk about it and put links up so people can donate. Just do whatever you can to
Here's a good
mention it.
idea, actually. If you're on, say, like Facebook or something like that, or in person, or you're asking, if you get a yes, maybe for the people who say yes, they can ask their friends to if they want to donate, and then if they say yes, so it's just a continuous chain of yeses
Right.
or
Like ask,
nos.
yeah, ask
So you'll
them
get a
to.
pretty good amount of money if you do that. Maybe
Yeah. So, I
good
mean, it
chain.
can't hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah. See if they let
fun
them
little
know how
idea.
important it is and see if they can continue to ask.
Yeah.
Another thing that you can have, you get a fundraising page. And so on your fundraising page, you can customize it. And so like Mason, we did pictures yesterday in our backyard. And
With our dog.
yeah, she was not very
No, she wasn't.
like usually she wants like she's
Yeah.
pushing into the pictures. She wants to be in them.
But
But
this time
yesterday,
she was interested in
our
something else.
neighbors.
Yeah, our neighbors.
Yeah, our neighbors.
She was
And
scratching at the fence. She was
yeah.
like, "Oh,
She
yay."
could hear the kids and she loves kids. So
Mhm.
she was more interested in somebody else's kids than her own.
Come on, you don't want to help raise donations. What's wrong with
Yeah,
my
she's
dog? I
just
don't.
like it was the first time. Usually she's all over
Yeah.
Mason, like wanting to take a picture. This time
Say
she was like,
pups.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
So we did our pictures yesterday. So it doesn't have to be a professional picture.
No, they can just be fun.
It can just be something easy, casual. So we do that and we use that for all of our marketing. So we will put that onto his fundraising page. So there's an updated picture of him. And then we'll do the story. You can write a little, like a little blurb. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just about why it's important to you. They have something already written, so you don't even have to, but sometimes it's nice to personalize it. You can also add video and links on there too. So take advantage of that. Make sure you customize that fundraising page because you can use that on all sorts of platforms. Just like we were just talking about, reach out to past supporters. And we just did that through the emails, but we also will be able to do that through other ways too. So see if they're still willing to do that. And what do we put in our front yard for
We
you?
put out a sign, and that sign has a QR code on it, right?
Yep.
And so if they're walking by and it catches their attention, they're interested in it, they can walk up to it and they can scan the QR code, which will take them to
Directly to the link where they
the
can
link.
donate.
Yes.
So it's
So,
super
yeah.
easy. It just goes right to it. And we have these signs made every year and we put one out front. So that
We get a pretty
way
good amount of donations from
it's
them.
well, it's cool and it lets
Yeah.
the neighborhood know like what's going on. I mean, it depends where you live too.
Yes.
We have a really cool neighborhood and it's a little spread out, but we get a lot of people who walk and they will stop and take a look at it, and it's raising awareness, which at the very least is
That's
already a
important.
huge thing. It's important so people will ask questions and realize what you're doing. And so that's important. So that's kind of a cool thing to do. There's
Mhm.
a bunch of other things. We won't spend too much time on that, but those are just some ideas. So if you're
Just a
watching or if
few.
you're listening and you're like, I don't even know where to start, and all of these, there's ideas. So it's all on the Take Steps site on the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. And I'll try to provide a link to where you can start so you guys can kind of go through there. But they provide all of this. So they'll tell you on there all the fundraising ideas. They have direct links to take you to the emails, to take you to the Facebook fundraisers. So it's all really helpful and really well set up to help you guys out. Then we're just going to kind of leave you guys with, our
Our
experience, like
experience.
just kind of
Yeah.
talking about take steps and
What we did there.
yeah, because I
Yes.
think the first one we did, like you said, this is our third one.
Yes. This one is our
So
third one. First year I went to, I was the honored hero, and that was in 2022.
yeah, so that was
It's pretty cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
And that was our first Take Steps. He was the pediatric honored hero. They usually choose like a medical professional for one of them. They will choose an adult. So you'll hear from a few speakers at these events, which is really cool because you get to hear their stories and it's pretty touching and really reminds
Yeah.
you why
You're
you're
there while
here.
you're donating.
Yeah, it's important and it's important to these families. And so I think it's great that they share these stories. So
Definitely.
so yeah, so Mason was the honored hero in 2022 and then in 2023 they asked him to go up on stage representing the pediatric patients.
Yep.
And then they had two, they had the other honored heroes were speaking about their child who had passed. And then they had the medical one, a doctor who got to go up there and speak as well. So it was pretty cool. But Mason stood up on stage this time. He didn't have to give a speech or anything like that. He did that the previous year, so he was off the hook. But they got to show everybody how to tie the ribbons. And so that's something else we can talk about. So that was new. 2022, they didn't do this. It was new
No.
for 2023. So when you get there,
They give you a little band, and I had a green one.
well, it's like a ribbon. It's
Yeah,
like a long, it's like a long ribbon.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they give you a different color depending if you are a patient,
A
a caregiver, or a supporter.
And so you write a message on this,
You write your
whatever.
name and then like a message on the band. And then which I was on the stage, I tied the ribbon onto this string. And
Like a really long rope string, like
it's
goes really far. And they had a bunch of these. So they had
them
one.
going down the rows for all the
Yeah.
people, and so they all
Yeah.
tied them to the rope. And so you had all these ropes with all the people's names and
Messages.
messages on it. So
Yeah.
it's really cool.
And then everybody stood and held them up
Yeah.
together. And it was a really cool
And you
thing,
could see
I
who
think.
was caregivers and who were patients and who were
Yeah.
supporters and stuff. It was so cool.
It was a really another thing that kind of felt like uniting everybody together in the fight. And I thought it was a really neat idea. So in the first one we went to, the walk. So Mason, you were mentioning earlier that it's like with it, we get to walk by the water and it's like a mile. So that's for this one. But the first one we did was at our Carlsbad flower field.
Gardens, yeah.
And
pretty cool.
And it was, but it was a much shorter walk. So it was not, I mean, when we say walk, people think maybe is this like a 5K or is this like a, it's like, no.
No, this isn't a marathon.
No, it's not that intense. You can
just
do
a
that if you
relaxable
want. I
walk,
mean, you could run back and forth. I mean, you could make it as
See how
like
many
intense
laps you
as
can
you
do?
want.
You can just run by everyone
Yeah,
walking.
you could do that, but it's supposed to be like a pretty chill, like just relaxed walk.
Yeah.
Families or strollers, there's kids, there's dogs, and yeah, it's pretty relaxed. But you could definitely go all out and be like, I'm gonna walk 10 miles and I'm gonna keep going. So you do that.
Keep running
Yeah,
laps.
it's all about what you want.
Yeah.
Really, make it about, make the day special for you. But what you do is like you basically all wait at a starting line and you all start. They announce it to start the walk, and everybody just starts walking. It was like I think the one we did last year, which will be it again this year. It's at NTC in Liberty Station in San Diego. We're really lucky where we get to walk. I mean, we're so fortunate. You get to walk along the water in San Diego.
And in the little area where they have all the areas where you get the ribbons and all the stuff like that. They have these really cool, they were old warship artillery cannons. So there's some history there too.
That was Mason's like one of his favorite parts. When we got there, he's like, wow, these are cool.
And then like there's all the little water, and then there's a bridge, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful walk. It's apparently like a mile
with everyone there while you're on the walk.
So it's not too crazy. A lot. It's all level and there's a sidewalk for the most part. But yeah, it's
do whatever makes you happy when you're walking.
That's the part. Enjoy the day. It's just like a really casual walk and it's a lot of fun. And we usually walk with our group. We all kind of hang together, but then you run into other people and it's like, hey,
last time we ran into my doctor, right?
Yeah, so Radies had a team, and which we were like, darn, we wanted them on our team.
Yes.
But they did their own.
They betrayed us.
Yes. No, it all goes to the same thing, but it was funny because they did their own team. So they walked, but we got to see some of the Radies team.
They were wearing the glasses and stuff.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really exciting.
They were having fun.
His doctor had her kids, and so it was like, wow, you get to see everybody in a different perspective.
They're not always in that doctor vest, and they all have to get an injection.
Talking about fun stuff like that. It's like this was just like relaxed. So that's also really cool. You might see some of your medical team there, and it's a lot of fun. And
family.
So yeah, so you get to meet a lot of really cool people and meet new people that are local, and you're like, wow, you're going through this too, and make friends. I've made a lot of friends there that we now follow each other like on Instagram and follow each other's stories and we can root each other on and support each other. So I think that's really important. So like when you're there.
Yeah, there's tents and there's canopies and there's what's it called? the people who the
Sponsors, like
sponsors. They're the sponsors
different
in different
sponsors,
camps. So
different
a lot of different things and sponsors.
they hand out like different like treats
Mhm.
or then at ours we had cosplayers, so we had
Yeah, we
people
brought like
that
the Mandalorian. You know what the Mandalorian is if you have Disney Plus.
yeah, we have connections because of Mason over here, and so we were like, "Hey, would you guys be willing to come out?" And they were like, "Sure." So that was really cool. So they were there taking pictures and interacting, and then, like, one of the canopies, like, one of the booths that we're talking about that was set up was, like, for Camp Oasis, and they had, like, fake, remember that, like, campfires?
Oh yeah, fake little
And, like, little
campfires.
fake
Yeah,
logs you could
yeah,
sit on, like, they had, like, a little setup and
pretty
then
fun.
activities, and I think this year we're looking at doing some kind of possible, like, obstacle courses
Oh
or
wow,
more activities for the kids
that'd be
to be
fun.
involved in. Yeah, it looks to be even better this year. I
But do you know what the best part about Take Steps is?
mm.
The best part, they give you a Take Steps flag. It's the best part.
We have these I know, but you can take them or you can wave them, you can walk with them.
You walk with the
Um,
flag, Take
yeah,
Steps.
it's pretty cool.
It's not the best part.
No,
but-
it's not. It's just fun. They
Yeah, it's
have
just
fun little
fun.
things like that. I mean, that's good. They have like little swag things that you can just, and they hand out stuff. Even the Camp Oasis tent, they have giveaways. So it's a pretty it's pretty cool. It's pretty relaxed, and
Mhm.
they have music. They
Yes,
have
they
a
have music.
DJ, and so they have music. And then they had this last year where you could collect like badges and you could put them like because they have like Mount Remission too. So you can put where you are in your journey, if you're at remission, if you're working towards it, where you're at. So it's kind of a cool thing.
At
And
the time, I was in remission.
lab
Yeah, I was
remission,
in lab remission.
yeah. So there's different levels of
Yeah.
remission, and that's a good topic for another.
Oh,
Yeah,
another idea.
that's a good idea because a lot of people are like, "What's remission?" Remission is not one thing. There's different
There's
types.
different.
I think we
Okay.
should do that.
Okay. Well, we just got a new idea.
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
should do that. And yeah, so anyway, so yeah, so there's Mount Remission. And then basically you just do the walk and then everybody leaves or they can hang out and talk a little bit more and
Help pack up things if you're a
yeah,
volunteer.
yeah.
The people there want to volunteer.
And one other thing to mention is there's different levels. So like depending where you get on the fundraising, like how much you raise, they have like different shirts, different sometimes there's like
Oh
giveaways
yeah.
like you got like a cooler bag.
Yes, I
They
got a
have
cooler.
like umbrellas, there's like fun things. I
Well,
don't and like a
wasn't there
vest.
a
It was like
hammock?
a
There's a hammock too.
there was a hammock
Yeah.
also. Yeah, so there's like different things depending where you
Different little
get to.
surprises. Yeah.
It's really fun. So there's like little incentives as you go for individuals and like the whole team doesn't get it. You can't
No,
do
you
that,
just
but
you
it's
just
the individual. So that's more on your accomplishments. And like last year, our entire team, we went over $10,000. And the year before we also went over 10,000.
pretty big.
It's a lot because now this year I'm like, oh
Oh
gosh,
yeah. What if we don't make the
it's like
10,000?
we set the bar like like so high like
Yeah.
right away because 10,000 really seems like a lot. Like right now we've raised
Pretty
$375,
good.
which is
That's a
not
start.
bad, but it's not
No, it's
$10,000.
not.
So
So this is the perfect time we say, please donate.
yeah, please. So if you're listening and you don't have a Take Steps near you,
Join
feel
our
free
team.
join our team and walk virtually. Help
Yes.
us fundraise, and we're very supportive. We can definitely help you out. We create our own like graphics for social media so we can put your picture into it with your story and you can use it on your social media.
And we're actually creating shirts for us,
We
for
do.
our
They're
team.
available.
Yeah.
I'll put a link
Custom roll
actually.
shirts.
Yeah, so we have team shirts and you can order it with long sleeves, short sleeves, sweatshirts, but it's all going to be kind of the same colors and same, obviously, our team logo, which is going to be Reggie crossing the finish line this year. And those are already all ready. So if you're part of our team and you want to order those shirts, any profit made on the shirt,
Goes.
100% of it goes back to the Crohn's and
Goes
Colitis Foundation. So that's pretty cool. So the shirts, there's no
into the
profit. It's all going to help the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation how we set it up. So I'll put some links and so that you guys can know where you can donate, where you can join, how you can register. But I really encourage you guys to do it.
make your team, join a team, and donate for your or someone else's team.
Be a part of it in some way, even if it's $5. And
$5 can help.
it all helps. So even if you're thinking, I don't have a lot, it's okay. We get a lot of asks too. And so it's always difficult because you feel like certain times of the year you may not have as much to be able to donate. So whatever you can. And like I said, volunteer opportunities are out there. If you do have IBD, you don't want to walk, and maybe you just want to volunteer and kind of, check people in and meet people, and you can hand out t-shirts, things like that. Pretty cool. So you guys are important too.
Yes,
I
everyone is
hope we'll
important.
see some new faces at Take Steps.
That'll be
Let
fun.
us know in the comments if you've gone, if this is going to be your first year. Maybe you've been doing this for years.
If
I
you're a
mean,
volunteer, if you
yeah.
have created your own group, if you are in a group, how much your group has donated.
Any fundraising tips,
Yes.
things like that. So hopefully you guys will join us, and
Yes.
hopefully this might have answered some questions about Take Steps. You'll probably be seeing a lot of people as they register and start their teams up, that you'll probably start seeing a lot of on social media. So now you know what it's all about, and be like, oh, that's what Take Steps is. So super important, guys, because really, I know a lot of people, this disease can make you feel tired, exhausted, in pain, and
Feeling
the last
down.
thing you want to do is like, I don't want to go to a big event. I don't want to fundraise. I'm tired. I'm this, but just remember that, like we said, even $5, because it matters that you guys continue to give back. That is the way this research is happening. That is the way things like newer biologics or advancements in diet help, or
Any money can help.
anything is important.
If they have spent over like $100 million, I mean this is my version of it. They spent 500 million dollars
Yeah.
on finding treatments and stuff, and they're trying to find a cure, and they're still finding things out. Just $1 could find the thing that finds a cure.
Right,
Because
you never know.
all the money has led up to it, but just $1 could
You could be
find
that
it. Yeah, you
dollar
could
that
be
puts
that
it right
dollar.
over the
You
edge.
could be
So,
the person that found the cure with your
yeah. So it's really important, guys. Find a team, donate if you can, and just know that you do make a difference
Yes.
with this. So you guys have a great day. And if you would like to join us on Instagram, you can go to Team IB Determined on Instagram. You can also join the Reggie Project, which is our newest project, which encourages you to share your story with Reggie. So to find out more about that, go to the Reggie Project on Instagram. And you can also listen to us on any podcast station: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you can listen to a
And
podcast.
this is a perfect time because YouTube just added YouTube podcasts. We've been
They did.
added to YouTube podcasts.
We're all on there.
And if you want to watch the video version of us with the voices
With the podcast.
with
So
the
the
podcast
video
itself,
podcast.
the
Yeah,
video
yeah.
podcast with the video, go to YouTube. And if you are on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we post a video, make sure to hit that bell icon. And also, have we been getting comments?
We have, but it
Okay.
never hurts to say leave a
Yes,
comment.
please leave a comment. We love reading the comments, and we read every single one of them.
Yeah,
We
we
love
do.
hearing your comments, and
And it helps. It's helpful, guys. We always
yes,
say it, but it helps because it's like, are we going in the right direction?
do they
Are we
like what we're
talking
talking
about
about?
the stuff that's important to them? Because we want to talk about things that are important to you. Because
Maybe a few ideas for what you could comment about is like what you want us to talk about. If you liked what we're talking about, what brought you to this podcast,
yeah,
what your favorite part about the podcast was,
it
things like that.
helps.
If you just
Yeah,
want to say hello, what you can relate to in this podcast, different things like that.
it all helps. So feel free to do that. And otherwise, we will see you guys all on the
In the
next
next
episode.
episode or at Take Steps.
Yeah, hopefully it takes steps. So
Yes.
that would be even better.
Or
So yeah. All right, guys. See you
see
next
you
week.
next week.
Bye.
We hope you will stick around, tune in, and reach out to us with your own journeys. We are excited to give you an inside view of what it takes to be a caregiver and what it's like to be a patient.
And most of all, we hope you'll maybe be able to play something you hear on here that might help you in your own life. Sometimes life changes, and it's all about how you handle the journey.